closer to what the city manager was recommending to his own board.
Makes sense. Well, also, I was watching the press conference yesterday from the mayor, and he was talking about the SHP, and I know that State Highway Patrol, they use Star HP. They don't, when you're out on, if you're coming through Fayetteville and you hit 911, it's Star HP, and that's what they use. I mean, you see it. I mean, now maybe nobody else pay attention to it, but
yeah, but I think the point is, so the mayor and I last year in March actually in February, and they convened in March and gave us a report in March. We asked the public safety professionals across our community, all the municipalities, the sheriff, the city police, fire, all the volunteer fires. We had EMS, we had emergency management, we had the 911 coordinators from both sides invited in, and we invited the state troopers into it as well, just to make sure.
All right.
Because there is somewhere down the road, maybe there's a connection point as we look at our digital dispatching or the E911 or how they connect with their enhancements. We want to make sure they're integrated with us if there's that opportunity. So we wanted them, but we're not dispatching state trooper calls from the 911.
Right.
And again, if that was a question, ask me back that in November of last year. I mean, again, 222 days to make a decision, a simple decision around who controls it from an administrative standpoint, who does the HR, who does the payroll, who maintains the facility. It's not that hard. Our staffs have been talking. Boards just need to make a decision, but there's been no board action. Our board has sat ready. We have agreed, even in the position that we had in November, where we voted in a joint meeting, to when I sent the city council a resolution that our board had outlined. That was closer to the city manager's recommendation. So we continued to move and make compromises and try to find common ground. We just believe that the administrative line is the county, and we've said that from day one. I get reports are reports, and people want to throw up reports. Those reports were from 2017, before you had a brand new center. I mean, we had a center back in 2017 that was in the basement of the courthouse. It was terrible. And my hat's off to the commissioners back then, specifically Jimmy Keefe. He was the one that was driving it to get that new center on Executive Place. And when they were doing that, they asked the city to be part of it and had it laid out for, at the time, they could have had a consolidated space. The city said no at that time. Right or wrong, whatever, that's fine. But, again, now we're back to this point, and now everybody wants to throw, the space is too small. Well, it's kind of like we've got a lot of extra stuff over there. We've got some emergency management stuff over there. We can move all that stuff out. There's a layout of what it could look at consolidated. And Troy, when you first get married, you move into that small house, and everybody's kind of, brothers and sisters are kind of, it's a little tight. But it's okay. It works. The quality of people that we have on both sides in our 911 center are incredible. They're quality people. And when we bring it together, we're going to go to the highest level of standard. We're trying to create conversation and noise around something where there's not noise. It's a simple decision. You want to talk about the space? Agree to the integrator coming in and helping us create the path to bring us together, bring a professional in to do that. It boils down to the admin control. And you heard that at the press conference yesterday, and you heard that, in side comments. And all you're hearing now from, the municipalities don't know, or, Fort Bragg, and, blah, blah, blah. It's just distractions right now. It's really simple. City, administrative leave, or county administrative lead. The operational stuff, all the professionals have agreed to. We've moved to the city manager's model that was recommended in the 2017 report. Everything that we're lines up. Even the cost share, we're taking a bigger burden of the cost share. There's no reason why Fayetteville residents should have to pay twice in their property tax. Once for general fund dollars to be used for a call center in the city, and once in the county. We've even moved closer to that. We're going to provide a baseline level of service. and then there'll be enhanced level of services. So it just makes sense. I don't know why at the last minute, I can't speak to, again, I'm appreciative to Senator McGinnis for bringing it back to the conversation. Because
Correct.
we had not met since November until the change to the bill, and it compelled with a timeline to get together. So it forced us to get together, which I'm glad for, because we've asked to meet. We've asked to come together.
Sure. Well, I can understand.
But 222 days.
Right. Tuesday would be the end of the fiscal year, correct?
Correct.
Is that why that date is locked in like that?
So in the letter that I sent to the council with the resolution, we asked them, outline the whole history of it, outlined our new position, how we had, found, moved a little bit closer to the city manager's recommendation to his board based on our manager's conversation. So it was our kind of new position with an ask, because they hadn't met with us. So our ask was, take a final vote on this framework,
Right.
yes or no, by 30 June, so that we know you want to consolidate or not, and we can begin to continue to plan. Because as we move forward in this FY, and even going into the next year, we're beginning to integrate in mental health, working with the Alliance into our joint 911 center. So we'll have a licensed clinical worker inside the 911 center. The Alliance came and gave us best practices, gave us recommended, the cost and those types of things, how to do it, how to integrate it, a timeline. That would get integrated in. We need to start that process, and we're not going to not start it. To my point earlier, whether we consolidate or not, we're going to do this. So we just wanted to know where the city is. And 30 June was, I sent that in May.
Right.
7 weeks.
Right.
7 weeks where they've met multiple times over budget stuff. And I know in our budget process, we would, if we needed to and another issue cropped up, we'd talk about that other issue because we needed to. We had some lawsuits we had to settle. We'd go into closed session, settle those lawsuits. We had to do some things while we were in the middle of budget season. That's what you have to do. The operations of the city or the county continue, even though the budget cycle is going on. So they had 7 weeks. 7 weeks. My understanding, there was never a board discussion about it.
Wow. So look, well, the mayor bar also brought up talking about technology. He said, well, we have drones and we have shot spotter.
Doesn't change anything. Those same dispatchers that are dispatching those assets now would be the same ones in a consolidated center that are dispatching them then. What's the difference? It's a dispatch. It's a call. It's how resources and assets are dispatched or provided forward to the incident that's happening. That's all the dispatch is. So those same people that have the knowledge and the standard and the understanding of how to get a drone up in the air quickly and be the first on the scene to help lead in the first responders as they're coming in or whatever, and I don't know the operational side, those are the same dispatchers that are going to be in the joint 911 center.
Right.
So how is it different, Troy? Again, we want to throw up noise and smoke screens. We've got quality professionals in both of those centers. We've got chiefs on all sides that understand the operational. That doesn't change, and we move it to a higher standard. We've even said in our recommendation, in the recommendation that came from the report that the county supported, you want to use your current city communications center officer that understands all those dispatching things that you're talking about and understands your standards? Sure. We don't, if you want to do that, we're fine with that. The manager would agree to that. Our boards would agree to that. Again, the same people that are doing it now will just be doing it together.
Makes sense.
I don't under. It
So
doesn't.
I think they have a
It
meeting.
sounds like noise.
Right. I think the city has a meeting about 30 minutes.
I think at 10 o'clock.
Till 10 o'clock. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how it shakes out. But look, I appreciate what you guys are doing. And look, like I'm saying, look.
20 years. First of all, 20 years since 2017, this community has been trying to look towards consolidation.
That's what I'm saying.
222 days,
Consider-
these two boards have been discussing, and the county has sat ready to make decisions.
When I was a deputy,
And nothing changes with the municipalities, and nothing changes with Fort Bragg. This is noise, and,
Right.
and we need, and the public needs to look through the noise and look to what needs to happen. And the action is around who is the administrative lead for this. The operations are defined by the professionals.
But see, I don't know how old you were in the mid '80s, but I was in my 20s. But I did work for Sheriff Otis Jones, and I remember there was no 911. And when they first started it, the same kind of conversation you are having now, they were having those conversations then. The police chief was Ron Hansen, the sheriff was Otis Jones, and this was in the mid '80s. And I know I'm older than you are, so you had to be pretty young, because I was in my mid 20s, maybe 25, 26, something like that. But look, it's been since then.
Yeah.
I mean, and we still haven't gotten it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just-
Well, and that was, when I first became the chair, the mayor and I sat down and we said, we've had a lot of legacy issues that have held this community back. If
Right.
we're going to change the dynamics, if we're going to change that tier 1 status, if we're going to look to do things, and I acknowledge that, a lot of things that the city has to deal with, the city of Fayetteville has to deal with, or some of our municipalities have to deal with, is because some shortfalls in the county. And I was committed to working towards, things like investing in schools and investing in infrastructure, investing in mental health and public safety. We've done those things and we've been committed to doing those things. But he and I agreed to addressing these legacy issues that have been out there and finding ways to where we're better as a community, we're more efficient with our tax dollars, and we're providing the best level of service for all our residents, because Fayetteville residents are county residents as well.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
And
right.
so when you look at things like transportation, when you look at things like parks and recreation, joint 911, FAMPO, planning, all these things, it should be seamless. But if we can't figure out who's the admin lead on not the operational stuff, because professionals have figured that out. The costing, we've moved for closer to it, and Fayetteville residents shouldn't pay twice. So the county, part of the county's property tax dollars and the 911 dollars of the state
Right.
that come down from the state should help underwrite that 911 center, and then county general funds offset, that baseline level of support. We're saying that we're offering to be there. We're offering a better way, a consolidated way. And he and I committed to working towards these legacy agreements. And I think, I'm still believe that we will get there. We've had 2 days worth of good discussions. The mayor and I continue to talk, and I try to take the emotions out of it, and just it's facts. It's here's where we are. I tend to be solution based. We can keep throwing up obstacles, but the end result is we just need a decision around admin control, because we can say all this other stuff, but if the boards can't agree to that, then it doesn't matter.
That's
and
true.
We just need to move forward.
Well, look, man, we appreciate you, all of what you guys are doing, and thank you for coming in. I know that our time is up now,
Yeah.
but
I appreciate the opportunity to come on.
sure, welcome hinges, man.
Yeah,
Anytime you guys want to
I
come
appreciate
and
it.
let's chat about this. Even
Dialogue's
if
good.
Right, even if I can get you and the mayor
Yeah.
in the room at the same time.
And we've done that many times.
Yeah, right. So, but we welcome that.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk, how we can do planning better in our community. If we had true joint planning across our community, how that would impact industry moving here, residential growth, everything. There's a lot of things we could talk about. A lot of things we could do that he and I have worked towards. That's why I was excited about, getting a second term as a chairman to continue to work, with Mayor Colvin and try to get some of these things done that we both believe in.
Sure. Well, look, if we could run the county like Tammy Quick runs the radio station, we'd be straight, bro.
That's it. Thanks,
Okay.
sir.
Take care. Bye-bye.